So this is Jordan Lockhart with WNN Wildcat News Network, and now I'm here with your coach, Coach Clark. So, Coach Clark, we know that you came from former school, first year in Palestine. What are some of the things that you learned, from your old school that you interpreted to our athletes here in Palestine?
Well, I don't know if I could narrow it down to just one thing. That when you've been in any business really for 20 years or more, there's a lot of experiences that you try to draw from. Some of the places I've been have been through hard times, and they've rebounded and brought themselves back up to greatness. I've been in some places that win and lose hardly a game at all. So I've seen a lot of things over the course of my career, and I think that there's so many things that make a place great, and having a successful athletic program can be a part of that. Now, if your programs aren't having success, how you restore that pride in an athletic program is something that I've been a part of some places that have have that pride in big ways. And that's what I want here for Palestine, and those are the things that I want to bring into Palestine is giving our community, our students, and our school an opportunity to have the pride restored in the peace, so to speak. And it won't come overnight, and it'll take a lot of hard work, but we're excited to do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Coach, last year came from a 9-1 record. 1-9 record, excuse me. We lost kind of our fan base. People starting to slack off, not like us as much. Even our players have lost confidence. What do you do, boost up that confidence again to make them want to go out and, make ourselves a powerhouse like we was a few years ago?
Yeah, I think that, I kind of alluded to that. That process is, I wish I could tell you that, stir up a little drink, and if you drink this magic formula that instant success happens. But successful people don't have success because they just want it. There's got to be some more behind that than just the desire. There's got to be some work ethic and some basic fundamentals installed and instilled and practiced. And we're not a completely untalented group of people right now, but we are struggling in some areas that are key characteristics that successful people and successful programs have. And so what I'm telling our kids is we're in the infancy stages of building a program, and there's going to be some bumps in the road. I think the key right now for us is that we're able to go out on a daily basis and just focus on us. What can you do today as an athlete to be the best person, the best athlete that you can be today? And if you can use that to get to tomorrow and then take the same approach to that day, then eventually you're going to start seeing some of those characteristics develop inside of every one of you that gives you a chance to go be successful. And really that applies to the classroom, athletics, and life in general.
Yes, sir. So I've noticed that you don't too much like quitting. We went through something, in the summer. Can you just tell everybody why does quitting, just get under your skin? Why don't you too much like quitting,
Well, I know that a lot of times the fear of failure and the fear of going after things that you want in life keep people back. A lot of times things are difficult, things are not easy, and so in society today, we've taken an easy approach that, well, I'll just do something else. But here's the reality of an adult that has been through some life experiences that loves kids can tell you is that life hits hard. And there's some things that happen in life that aren't easy. Being a father is not easy. Keeping a good job is not easy. Being a good husband or a good wife, being a good spouse, that's not easy. Those things take work. And too many times today, people quit on children, they quit on spouses, they quit on jobs because they're difficult. And what we want to hope to instill in our kids that come through our programs are that stick with it. Start when you finish something,
finish.
when you start something,
You
finish it, you know, and stay with it and endure those things that sometimes aren't always easy. And then you learn to tackle life's obstacles with the same approach. And so nobody ever succeeds from quitting. You got to learn to overcome, deal with adversity, and that's part of growing up. And so that's a big reason that I think that we try to establish a deal of don't quit on it, stay with it.
Mm-hmm. So, Coach, you're a great leader. You know, I've took notice that when you came to Palestine, you know, you didn't come alone. You brought other coaches with you. Leadership is, you know, a lot of people try to, you know, teach or establish, make people learn leadership, but how did you become a leader? You know, was it learned, or, you know, have you always just been that person to be a leader? How did you?
Well, I think really, really young in my life, you know, I was fortunate. My dad coached for 30 years, and so I had a lot of inspiration from my father and the things that he taught me growing up. But you know, I started out at the bottom of the totem pole. You know, my first job as a coach, right out of college, was coaching the 7th grade C team for the Brownwood Lions. Now, Brownwood's a great place. They've won 7 state championships, but out of every coach, from the head coach down, I was the very last guy. I coached the lowest grade and then the lowest team in the lowest grade. And so I literally started off at the bottom of this profession. But I've been lucky that I've been around some great coaches and some great mentors that taught me a lot of things that helped me throughout my career. And so I think leadership, a lot of those qualities can be learned. I definitely think there has to be some internal motivation for any leader at whatever stage of leadership growth and development they're in. You've got to have an internal desire to do that and to be great at what you do. And so, but there's a lot of things that you just learn as you go through, and those experiences make you a better leader.
So, Coach, you're a family man. Can you just tell us, you know, what your family is? How, you know, I know you got a wife and
wife and 4 kids, and you know, I think family makes it all go, man. Faith and family, and I've been blessed to fall in love and marry the woman of my dreams.
Respect.
She's the principal down at Story Intermediate, so she's got a tough job. She's busy all the time. And then we add busyness to our lives with all of our kids. You know, we have 4 kids. We love every one of them, but 3 boys and then a little baby girl. So we have a 7th grader, a 5th grader, a 2nd grader, all boys, and then we have a little 3-year-old daughter. So she's spoiled rotten.
I bet.
But I'm always looking for time. You know, that's the biggest thing for the challenge for our family is, you know, Dad's the athletic director and the head football coach, and Mom's the principal, and so our schedules are extremely busy. So family time is important, and when we get it, we take it.
I've noticed that, you know, you kind of, when it comes to your athletes, you like almost like one of the guys. You know, I see you in the locker room or the weight room, you slapping people's hands, you know, getting in people's faces, getting them live, you know, acting like you one of the teammates. But not a lot of coaches, you know, not a lot of coaches connect with their athletes like that. Do you think coaches should be more like that?
Well, I think that coaching has really changed a lot over the last several decades. You think about my coaches when I grew up, you know, they were a lot more militant, you know, in the way that they coached. And I think our profession got that, you know, after the World War II years, and there were so many of our grandparents and great-grandparents that served in the military. When we came back and the United States started building society, so to speak, after World War II, our coaches were all militant in style, you know, that you did what the coach said no matter what. And over time, the society's just softened, and today you can't just yell at a kid and chew them out and get them to do what you know they need to do to be successful. Today, those athletes need to trust you and respect you, and that trust and respect is earned both ways. I want them to trust me and respect me, but I can't get you to do what I need you to do unless you trust and respect me in return. And so relationships are the key to the new coaching style. And all the coaches, the sooner they understand that relationships are the most important thing in coaching kids today, the better off they'll be, and the sooner they'll realize success from that.
Okay, this is a question that most people ask athletes, but I want to ask you, Coach Clark. When the team is down, and everything's going wrong, the refs aren't giving us our calls, and everybody giving up, what goes through a mind of a coach? Because a lot of athletes are like, I'm praying, or I'm trying to get people to get up, and drive for the team. But as a coach, what do you think when stuff is going wrong?
We've had some stuff go wrong the last few weeks, and those aren't easy times to work through. But in our mind as coaches, and oftentimes what I'm telling our coaches on the sidelines is keep your interaction positive. Nobody likes the situation you're in. We all want it to be different. But here we are in the midst of a tough circumstance, down by a lot, game's not going well. Encourage, be positive. And down the road, when the program's healthier, those days will become fewer and fewer, and we won't see as many of those chances to be upset and be disappointed. And as a team, we want our team to be able to get in and out of those situations and not get so frustrated that we become people that we aren't. A lot of times in the heat of competition, when things aren't well, people react in ways that it really isn't who they are. They fly off or get personal fouls or do things, and after it's over, they're disappointed they did it. They don't want to be represented in that way, and so we're constantly keeping our interactions positive in those situations so that we get in and out of there without things getting worse than they already are. And then what can you learn? What can you take away from those tough times to make sure that you begin to distance yourself from those tough times and they get less and less a part of your existence? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And so there's always something to learn, even in failure.
Well, Coach Clark, I sure do thank you for coming, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, man.
I see you. They'll be in there signing out.